We back. It's the Boxing Clinic and more. Talking some good boxing. Y'all see the title. Y'all know what we here to talk about. Check the description. The interview with Kenny Porter and Fight Hub is in the description. Also, don't forget to click the Castbox link for the podcast. Got a special podcast I'm gonna drop tonight. But if you want to get in touch with me as well, you got a question, got a request, want to do a collab, whatever it is, click the Facebook link and like the Boxing Clinic page, and message me there. I message you back, quick, fast, and in a hurry. Shout out to the homie Trey P. He was on the Fight Hub, comment section as well, just me and him basically in Fight Hub. That's how fresh this interview was at the time I was watching him. Well, Kenny Porter, what they call him K. Diddy, father Shawn Porter, was actually at the Brandon Rios and Danny Garcia final press conference, whatever, and he had a lot to say. And like I said, he had a lot to say. Pretty much, I believe, I already told you guys, I'm already hip. Now I do my research. I told you guys, the WBC said on their Instagram page that the winner of Brandon Rios and Danny Garcia was going to have to fight Shawn Porter for the mandatory to Keith Thurman. Kenny Porter already knows that, and several times in this interview, he said that he contradicted himself, but he knows that Shawn Porter going to have to fight Danny Garcia to get to Keith Thurman, which shouldn't be an issue. They wanted Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia said he didn't get the contract. Kenny Porter explained the contract situation. When you get to the elite level, prize fighting level, he said you don't get the contract until 48 hours before the fight, and then you sign the contract. That's why when the state athletic commission that you're fighting in, that's when you finally get the guaranteed purses, because the contract isn't signed until 48 hours before the fight. Kind of something I already knew, but I'm surprised, a lot of people don't know it, but just the inner workings of boxing when you get to that level. He explained the contract situation, so if you want to learn about that, Kenny Porter gives you an insight on that in this interview. Like I said, I always put my sources in the description. If I forget, holler at me, I'll give you the link. There's no need to hide sources like other pages. I'm laying out the truth and the facts, but he said, Kenny Porter said, we would just rather wait it out and fight Keith Thurman when he get healthy. But then he said, well, Danny Garcia could have fought us tonight. He could have sent us a contract. We could have been fighting tonight. I thought Shawn Porter's hand was injured and still, was just not getting healthy. They're full of shit. They want to wait for Keith Thurman. They felt that Kenny said that they beat Berto and they beat Granados. They should automatically be the mandatory for Keith Thurman. No, you don't beat a Berto or Granados and think you are entitled to a Keith Thurman fight. Well, it's not going to happen till the end of the year if Keith Thurman fights more than once this year. Okay? So that's what it is. He said it. He said, they're going to have to holler at us before Keith could make a move. We the mandatory. But, we might have to fight Danny Garcia. You already know you got to fight Danny Garcia. If the winner of Danny Garcia, Brandon Rios. They already know it. I knew this 2 or 3 months ago before this fight was made. I told you guys, when this fight was made with Brandon and Danny Garcia, I told you guys the Instagram WBC verified page said Danny Garcia, Brandon Rios had to fight Shawn Porter to beat Keith Thurman mandatory. That's nothing new. Kenny Porter trying to play dumb like he didn't know that. If I knew that, how did you not know? You're the coach and the manager of your son, co-manager of your son. How did you not know this? Danny Garcia knows this. Angel Garcia knows this. Al Heyman knows this. We all know this. It's going to be Shawn Porter versus Danny Garcia next. The winner gets Keith Thurman if they want to fight Keith Thurman. So that's what it is. I've been told you guys that fight was on tap. Long as Danny beats Brandon Rios, barring a miracle by Brandon Rios, which couldn't be out the. I'm gonna say this can't be out the realm of possibility, because Danny been out for some time. He ain't been the same since the Matisse fight, in my opinion. But also, Kenny Porter, praises Keith Thurman for not fighting Earl Spence. But I agree with him. If you got an injury, heal up, take your time, and that's a valid excuse. Basically, that's what he said. It's not like he was really praising him, just saying, you know what, it's good for him. He's, wait till you get healthy, then you handle an animal like that. But this is what I really want to get into with this video. I really want to get into this, okay? He was dogging Danny Garcia out, saying if you really want the fight, all you got to do is call us. If we call you out, it's a yes or no, yes or no, yes or no. I mean, Earl Spence did call you out. But he goes on to say, if you really want to fight, if the kid in the neighborhood, 2 kids got beef, your friends telling you that we got beef and we about to fight. or something like that. So we them kids on the block. He said, I'm not here for all these excuses. He know that we called him out. We here to fight. We want to fight him. You ain't got to be scared of ducking him. Paraphrase. That's what he's saying. I'm thinking in my head like, bro, I think Trey P said, yeah, what about Errol Spence on the comment section? Like, yeah, that's how we feel about Errol Spence and Shawn Porter. He's calling you out. He's verbally abusing you, verbally assaulting Shawn Porter, but y'all don't hear him. But only thing you hear is what's coming from Danny Garcia and Angel Garcia's mouth, right? That's the only thing they hear, right? But then they hear Errol Spence knocking on the door. But all of a sudden, are we injured our hand? We got to shut it down. We might not come back to fight Keith Thurman. Danny Garcia could have fought us, obviously Saturday night. Danny Garcia you could be fighting Errol Spence Saturday night then. You could have been the hell out of this. Well, y'all could be fighting Errol Spence, in January. If you could have fought Danny, in February, you could have fought Errol Spence when Lamont Peterson fought him. But at the end of the day, it's business, though. But the way they conducting their business and Keith and Shawn Porter, Kenny and Shawn Porter, the way they conducting their business, you don't have no room to talk about Danny Garcia, criticize Danny Garcia. And I got nothing against no parties involved. You're ducking Errol Spence. But you're dogging Danny Garcia out for supposedly ducking Shawn Porter. But you can't call a duck if you ducking, if that makes sense. So I wouldn't say nothing if I was him opening his mouth. And if I was asking him the question, I get into his butt. Like, what about Errol Spence? I don't care if he asks me about Errol. Don't talk to Errol about Errol Spence. I don't care. I don't have to have a interview from Kenny and Shawn Porter. That ain't no platinum standard interview. They can just crush that right there. Throw all the journalist stuff out right there. I'm not respecting your off-camera requests. Yeah, I'm going to tell you, if you're going to go on the Danny Garcia duck you, I'm going to go into the Errol Spence. We just going to establish that right there. So don't be calling Danny a ducker while you ducking Errol Spence when you've been healthy. Wasn't nothing wrong with their hand. I told people that from day one wasn't nothing wrong with Shawn's hand. They didn't want to answer to keep Errol Spence. And honestly, it's business. I understand. They came out and say, you know what? Earl is something that we're going to take down the line because number one, we want Keith. I understand they saying that. But it's not like Earl don't have a belt. Like, if you beat Earl, if you feel you can beat Earl, okay, beat Earl. Then you're going to get Keith Thurman eventually. But I understand they don't want to give up that mandatory spot. They want the 2 belts rather than go for the 1 belt and the killer. But at the end of the day, don't downplay Errol Spence. We're going to get into that next video. Don't downplay Errol Spence. You don't want free smoke with Errol Spence. And even if you do get those 2 belts, I guarantee you if those guys beat Keith Thurman, they're not going to fight Errol Spence either. And Shawn Porter's going to move up or something like that. He's not going to fight Errol Spence. They're not going to fight Bud Crawford. Neither one of them. Just as much clout and respect Errol Spence got and as much fear they got for Errol Spence and Porter and Garcia, the family, they got more fear and more respect for Terrence Crawford as well. They know what Terrence Crawford is. He either came from the same cloth as Earl the Truth Spence. Might as well call him Terrence Bud the Truth Crawford. They not gonna fight him either way. I'm telling you that right now. But my problem with this interview was you calling Danny out a duck. All this time you calling Danny a duck, but you ducking Errol Spence. At the end of the day, if I get a title shot, I'm taking it. There's no guarantees that Keith Thurman gonna give you a title shot. There's no guarantee. He fight once this year, then he's expected to fight Errol Spence then. Then what happens to you? Let me know how I feel. We gonna